Hello and welcome back to My Life in a Biscuit Tin. I'm Liz Mosey from Good Housekeeping. And today is a momentous day on Biscuit Tin because we have allowed into here the hallowed and sacred ground of the Biscuit Tin studio, a man. The first man ever to make selections for the Biscuit Tin.
Is that really?
It is true.
Is that really? I wonder why you turned the heater off. I've got a hot flush.
And of all the choices, we've gone for chef and telly-entrepreneur and amazingness of James Martin.
Been asked the TV for a while, for sure. But it's a pleasure to be here. I didn't realise I was the first one. But,
you are, I know. Feel special.
I am.
Thank you very much for coming. You've had a busy day already.
Yes, busy day. It's been a fun day. It's first day of the book PR machine that happens.
You're basically Taylor Swift now.
Well, I don't know about
rounds.
that. I don't know. The ticket sales don't really reflect on that, but it's I'll be nice to have 10% of that. It'd be quite handy.
Do you still love doing it?
I just love cooking. The key to it, I never watch myself. I never watched myself on any TV show for the last 32 years. Never watched anything I do, particularly when I did Strictly. Definitely don't watch that. But I never watch myself. So when the Saturday show comes on, and the rare occurrence I'm either at home or in a hotel, it comes on, I have to get out of the house because the dogs want to get out of the house. The dogs are almost looking at the TV going, "Oh my God, not again!" But I think that's the key. If you don't watch yourself, you don't judge yourself.
Yeah.
So you try and be the same as what you do on screen. You don't try. You've got to be the same as what you are on screen to what you are anywhere else. And
it does feel that way. It was quite pioneering in its way. It was very informal, sort of free flowing, and it is very much
me.
You sort of making it up as you go.
Well, it was. I made a decision that when everything was quite formulaic in terms of television, everything's got to be formulaic.
Yeah.
And in terms of timings and everything else. But I think through years of experience, those timings can be dissolved into the show. So not a lot of people know it, that I've never cooked any of those recipes before until the first time you see them is the first time I've cooked them. So, we're talking about magazines and stuff like that. You have to have everything formulated.
Yes.
We don't do any of that. The ingredients are put in front of me, and then the cameras roll, and I have a lady called Sam Head who works behind the scenes, who we worked with for 32 years. She's there with a pen and piece of paper. She writes the recipe while I'm cooking it.
Oh, wow.
So I don't cook. I don't. The first time I've cooked anything, if I'm interviewing you, is the first time I've ever cooked it.
Gosh. Quite a squeaky bum time in a way.
For people, but to me, it's not, because I've done it all my life.
Yeah.
It's not big-headed. It's the fact that, I can't sit in front of a computer and just type. I can't do that. I'm dyslexic as hell. I admire people who can. I admire people who sit down and write.
Right.
But I can cook.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was 8 years old.
Everyone's home is different, and wouldn't life be boring if they weren't? But whatever your thing is, when it comes to furniture, DFS is here to help you find it, celebrate it, and bring it to life in every room. For me, it's my great big bed, but for you, it could be a bright and beautiful sofa, a snugly boucle armchair, or a statement storage ottoman. Find your thing in stores or at dfs.co.uk today. The first thing that's going in your biscuit tin, James, you've brought your school.
I have, yeah.
Exercise books. Go on, dive in and let's have a look at the first thing.
It's surreal, really, this kind of stuff. But I was thinking about what to bring, and I've got these. So these are quite important to me. But these kind of shows you
amazing.
For the future. But these are my old school
little school exercise.
Well, these
books.
are my school exercise books. This is when I was a kid. Mrs. Baxter was the cookery teacher.
Was she scary?
She didn't really like me that much. I'll assure you, she didn't really like me. So I'd spend all day.
Your pasta shapes.
She put crossing it out, going not asked for.
I think you've done a nice job of that.
You need to tell her that.
Mrs. Baxter.
She was, but it was just there's red ink everywhere, and you could tell I was particularly. I enjoyed my art, so art was another thing that. So I drew all the sinks and stuff like that, sinks and cupboards and bits and pieces. And
I think this is beautiful. How old were you here?
Probably 10, maybe 11.
This is beautifully presented. I think the handwriting is nice.
Maybe 11.
We've got here the structure of a hen's egg and showing a nice diagram of the eggs floating or not floating to find out if they're fresh.
You've got
or
that
not.
one there. I've just got "See Me" with red ink all over it. But that kind of stuff. And then you go back to this, probably my most treasured possession. This was at a Motherby County Primary School, which my primary school used to be I think there's probably 30 people in it, and there was half of it was a porter cabin.
Right.
But this is quite, we're going way back here. So we're going way back when I was 9 years old. There's a great one here. James, this is when I was 9. This is 1981. James has obviously realised that working for himself is the only thing that matters. I was
Wise.
9, and that's when I first ventured in the kitchen at 9. So I was I was pot washing at 9 years old.
Oh, were you?
At Castle Howard Estate. So
Yes.
Castle Howard.
Didn't you grow up on the Castle Howard Estate?
Yeah. It's my dad used to work in the catering side of it, and I
You got the bug. You went in the kitchen and you thought, this is it.
I just felt at home. It sound ridiculous. I just felt it was my home.
Cool kitchen at Castle Howard, I imagine.
It was probably not as cool as when you got down to the restaurants when I was 16, but it was it was a country house hotel, that kind of stuff. Not a hotel, but big country house. Pans bigger than what I was, and but I just, that putting on a chef jacket meant so much to me when I was 9 years old, 10 years old, and it still has the same importance as what it does now.
There's some absolute corkers.
There's some blinders in there.
Can I read one out? Is it okay? This is in summer term 1983, age 11. They don't pull their punches. AG Dibs, I think it says.
Yeah. James
has often displayed enthusiasm for various projects, but at the end of the day, the amount of work forthcoming has been disappointing. It's brutal.
It's quite.
Wait, were you sad? Did you?
Not really. I didn't give a shit, to be honest with you. Sorry, but I didn't. I'm sorry to ask. I didn't, because I just knew that's what I wanted to do. I knew from the age of 9 that hospitality was going to be my thing, and particularly kitchens was going to be my thing. And that progressed faster and faster when I got to 10, 11, 12. So when, I'm doing these cookery books here, I was working in Michelin star restaurants when these were happening.
Yeah.
So I didn't really care about this. And of course, when you're dyslexic, you don't really know. I didn't get diagnosed till I started to read the script on the Saturday Kitchen way back 20 years ago. When the script guide came out, I went, I can't do this.
Really?
And then that's when a wonderful lady called Carla Maria Lawson sent me away for lessons at the Beeb, and she came back and said, "You've got the severest form is dyslexia." And that's,
goodness, it's amazing to me, because this is beautifully presented.
There's quite a few spelling mistakes.
You must have really fought with
it.
I
used to be in tears. My mum and my parents will tell you, at Thursday, you had to, there was 100-word spelling test. I used to sit and write 1,000 words in a night, because I used to get them all wrong. I used to be in tears. Absolutely crying my eyes out.
Heartbreaking.
But I was always the quiet one at school. So I knew from a younger age that's kind of what I wanted to do. And I don't know anything else, to be honest with you. That's what I do.
Did you only keep the food textbook?
No, if you look at one of them, I think it's that one. Let me show you. I think the one at the back's quite fun, because I think I doodled. I think it's this one, or maybe the other one. I think I doodled something. I've got one of the girls' telephone numbers in here, and my old lecturer, I did a little caricature drawing of him. But it's
oh, here, Helen Johnson.
There you go.
Oh, well,
there you go.
Nice.
Nothing happened.
So but to have kept these, are you a bit of a hoarder?
Yeah, I'm a collector.
A collector.
So I collect cars and watches are my big thing. So
okay.
I collect things. I save up but this was me all day long. My mum said I used to work for my pocket money. My sister used to get pocket money and go out and spend it. There's two different types of pocket money spenders. They either go out and spend it on pound shops and everything.
Yeah.
And then moan at people like me that save up and get one nice thing.
Get a good big
thing. And it
thing.
properly kicks off. Combination is I would work for my pocket money.
Right.
And I would always save up and get one thing. I would keep it.
Is that a thing you saved up for?
So this is one of the things that I saved up for.
So cool.
This, you have to know what it is, but I know I'm the first bloke on here, but that noise was my childhood.
Yeah.
And it still works, this.
It's the Space Invaders.
It's called Astro Wars. It still works, but this is the only one that's been signed by a real astronaut, I'm pretty sure. That's Tim Peake. He came on my show, and this was in my house, and I had to go get it and get Tim Peake to sign it. Because
they film it in your house.
It's filmed in my garage.
Yeah.
So it's filmed in my garage. So I've got a boys' room which is full of stuff from my childhood. It's got half of what I've got on here, and it just reminds me of certain things. So I've got an original Bendy Bully from Bullseye, blankety blank checkbook and pen.
How did you get that?
You buy it from eBay.
Do you?
I've got 3 through the keyhole keys, because that they came to my house.
These cultural references. I mean, when you played that tune, I'm straight away. I'm back in my lounge.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget's on the telly.
There's
something about very potent.
To
memories.
me, it's a memory of childhood, but you treasure those memories. I sadly lost my gran quite early on. I was probably 20 years ago, so she never really saw what I achieved. She saw a little bit of it, not what I achieved now. But she was a massive influence in my life. A colossal, that's my mum's mum. Huge influence.
Tell me why.
Quite frankly, if I could be 10% of what my gran was, I'd be 110% better person. There's no question. She was just amazing. There's two people I met in my life that could stop traffic. The Queen was one. I had lunch with her, 6 of us. 6 of us at a table. Queen sat opposite.
How'd that?
She invited me to Buckingham Palace, and I arrived in a suit, and I thought I got the wrong room because I'm with the lady who sells rhubarb. Next minute, the door opened. In comes the corgis. Prince Philip walked in, and she stood there and says, "Shall we have lunch?" And the door opened up, and there's a table for 6.
Oh, James!
And I sat opposite the Queen for 3 hours.
Was she nice?
Amazing.
I bet she was brilliant.
And he was telling her off. She's got these little box of biscuits. They've got a silver box of biscuits. Digestive. She used to feed them to the dogs. The dogs are getting sugar rush, and they're going mental all over the place. It's brilliant. But that and my gran, and there's two. My mum. Everybody knows that I adore my mum.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of thing is when you have somebody like that in your life who was a great influence in your life, not just, but they were a great work ethic. None of my family had anything. They didn't. There was no, and I learned from a young age that there's no money coming from me later on in life.
It's up to you.
Oh yeah, if you want a house and you want to work for it, we're a tenant pig farmer, so you got to work
That's
for
why
it.
you were pot washing at night.
You got to work for it.
Yeah.
And I learned the value of work from my grandparents. That from working in the farm to working in the if you wanted to produce potatoes, you had to go and physically do it. And but I learned so much in terms of going to the supermarket, going to the butcher's with my gran, and little things that you just remember. The greenhouse with the smell of tomatoes with my grandparents and all that kind of stuff. So you that triggers so many different things. That why was the reason why I got into it? Yes, because of that. We didn't have pre-prepared food because my mum used to make everything.
Did your mum work the farm as well?
Yeah, she used to do a bit of all. My mum worked in fashion a bit, so she worked in shops all of her life, selling fashion, so clothing, and she's got a great eye. She's got a great eye for interior decorating and stuff like that. That's what I got that from my mum. I'm fascinated by interior decorating myself. Not people know it, but I've just redecorated half my house.
Really?
I love the whole process.
Do you do the DIY or do you do the sort of picking?
Bit of everything.
Do you?
Do a bit of everything. I think when working on the farm, you do a bit of everything, but I'm obsessed with my garden. The garden's got to look like my grandfather. Grandfather was a fast bowler for Yorkshire, so it's the garden's got to have stripes on it.
Yeah.
Even down to the fact that I live in Hampshire, but it's Yorkshire turf. So I had to get turf down from Yorkshire for my garden. I suppose that's the attention to detail when you're a chef. You go 2 ways. You either do one way as a chef or you go the other way, and the extreme way is the way that I went, where you become everything's quite regimented. There's a system in place, and I think that helped me in terms of, because I was dyslexic, because I had no qualifications, no exams, and I've been told all my life in school that I was useless. When I got to sort of 15, 14, 15, 16, when I met a guy called Ken Allenson who turned around and went, "You're really good." Nobody had ever told me that.
What had he seen in you, do you
Just
think?
the first day at catering college.
Right.
And he went, "I've never seen somebody like that before." Because normally they're chopping the fingers off and chopping the hell out of things. I could butcher a chicken, I could fillet a fish, I could do all that by the time I was 14, 13. So
by the time you got to catering college, you'd had a fast start.
Not almost. A fast start, I'd had a head start. This whole industry is massive, so you never stop learning in this game. So there's no quick way to get there. It was just, I enjoyed it, and I worked in the kitchens, and I was, it was a head start, but it was probably the page 2 of 28 chapters. It's a lot of, you've not jumped 3 chapters, you're on page 2. You haven't cut your finger and you're chopping things.
Let's go in your bag again. What else have we got in there? There's some other goodies, I think.
This is quite cool.
It's Mr. Tickle.
This is quite cool. This is my hot water bowl when I was a kid. I was brought up on a farm, so farms were notoriously cold in Yorkshire. And this was my hot water bowl. I don't know whether they'd be able to fill it now. Probably 3rd-degree burns everywhere, but
I had one just like, well, no, not Mr. Tickle, my one was.
Yeah.
Because I also grew up in Yorkshire. But my one was, what's Popeye's girlfriend called? Olive oil.
Olive oil. Yeah.
I had olive oil, same genre.
Yeah.
But I remember it just burning my skin.
It's probably what this did.
So hot. Third-degree burns.
Did. Yeah. And yeah, just there's certain things in your childhood that you'd have wished you'd have kept and bits and pieces. But obviously, I left. I went down to London and bits and pieces. But my mum kept this, and I weirdly I kept the BMX that I saved up for. You could go out and get a BMX back then when I was a kid, but I wanted a particular type of BMX. So I saved up for 6 months when all the kids had got one. And really, when they were starting to probably fall out of the fashion, I went out and bought a Rally Aero Pro Burner, which was the one that you wanted, but I had to work 6 months to be able to get enough pocket
money. Not the rubbish blue and yellow one.
No, I wanted the chrome one. Chrome one. So I saved up and I've still got it. So I had it restored, and yeah, it's just things like this brings back memories of your grandparents, your family, and I had amazing childhood. I loved every minute of it. I mean, school was hell on earth, but it was the ability to come back home and your parents say, "Don't worry, it doesn't mean anything." Yeah, because they never had the academic life. They knew that if you worked hard enough, you were going to achieve something. But I was actually quite different to anybody else. I was quite different at school. I was different at home. I was different. I would work, and I couldn't understand why everybody else wasn't working. And if you told me to get in at 7, I would get in at 6. I would be in there and I'd want to learn more, and I'd want to. It's
a kind of a dichotomy a bit, because everything you're saying is sort of, I wanted to work and I knew from a very early age. That's kind of old head on young shoulders type stuff. But all of this is proper. It is. And I
say to my mates in the office, and they work in offices. I admire people who work. I'm looking at this office now. I admire people who look at the office, but what makes you different? What makes a person different that in 5 years' time owns the office building?
It's funny, isn't it?
And you'll notice them, because I notice them at work in my job now. Now, you've got teams and people that work with you. You can spot them.
People who want it more, maybe.
Well, want it more. Not necessarily as good as some of the people in there. I'm not as good as chefs as people we have on the Saturday show. Definitely not. You know what you're good at, and also respect that I have for them. They hopefully have for what I do, but the respect that I have for the team, and you're building up this team around you to make something very, very special.
It's so much of what you do is certainly it's very you. There's a kind of you couldn't lift and shift, but drop somebody else in there and it would still work.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So, and it's interesting what you're saying. There's obviously a sort of real aesthetic tactility to everything. You're obsessed with the way you do your garden, your house. You're very particular about it all.
Yeah,
Are you a bit of a nightmare to be around?
Probably not so much. I'm very not. No, not.
You don't
really.
seem that way, but
not
it's
really.
Very...
I think I see everything.
Okay.
And worse now, I've had my eyes done. So I had. So you have laser surgery. I had full reflective lens surgery. So I had the lenses taken out and new ones put in.
Ooh.
Oh my God!
Was it a bit scary?
I can see stuff now that I can see around corners now. It's scary. People are now scared at work because I can see stuff a mile off. See veins on a tree. I can now read without glasses. It's amazing. But the attention to detail to me comes from the fact as you work in an industry that is detail is everything. So can I stop that attention to detail in terms of the industry? Always want to be better every single day. And can I, when I walk into TV production, do the same? I think you can. You can still have that attention to detail because it still matters to people watching. It matters that you care. Why shouldn't you care? And so each day has to be better or as good as it was the day before. And we all have a meeting afterwards. We all have a meeting at the end of the day. What worked, what didn't work, what could be better, what couldn't be better. And we all have a meeting in the morning, what's coming up. And that is what we do in the restaurant business. It's what we do. And it's a chef's thing. Most people if you looked at a chef, you just think, what are you doing for a job? Well, you don't get it. But you have to be it to understand it.
Yeah.
Because Joe Blogs on the outside, they've got no, you don't get it.
This episode of My Life in a Biscuit Tin is brought to you by DFS. Everyone has a thing, and whatever you're looking for in your home, DFS can help you find yours. And my thing this week is toffee. For bonfire night, my mum used to make an amazing spread of treats, weird sweeties and funny little buns and cakes and things, and all over our dining room table at home. And I remember me and my brother and our friends used to gather around that table, and mum would bring out a pan of bubbling toffee mixture that she would fish out, drop into a little bowl of cold water, and we would eat it off a spoon. If your thing this week is finding an amazing new piece for your home, DFS can help. From sofas and bed frames to sideboards and dining sets. Discover the new season collection now in store or at dfs.co.uk. Let's talk about heroes. You've got a couple of hero type things in your bag that you've brought.
This is probably my favourite picture that I've got. This sits in my loo with other legendary items. I've got.
So it's a photo, is it?
Yeah, I've got Keith Floyd's last ever picture that he drew before he died. I bought it at auction. So this is the late, great Michel Roux Sr., who was everything to me. He was my mentor, father figure, everything. I mean, the man was an absolute bloody legend, as well as one of the greatest chefs in the world. And he came over, him and his brother came over and revolutionised British food.
Yeah.
And, two Frenchmen opened at the Waterside Inn. And so this was at my birthday party. I was 40 years old, and I had 200 people at my birthday.
What's he eating?
He's eating in 99 with a Flake. So this the greatest,
Mr. Whippy,
the greatest pastry chef in the world. And he was serving. So I didn't know what to serve. What do you serve 200 chefs when they come around to your house?
Yeah, nightmare.
Some of the greatest chefs in the world come to your house. What do you serve them?
What did you give them?
I had two ice cream vans come with 99s of Flakes, and the party went there, boom, and he was in one of the ice cream vans serving all the chefs. They were queuing up. So there's people like Nathan Outlaw. There's who's who of chefs, and they're all queuing up for an ice cream served by that chap.
Absolutely brilliant.
So it's and then shortly after that, we sat down and there's party going on. And bear in mind that it's your 40th birthday party. You've got everybody there. Me and him just sat at this table, and as if it was really weird. It was as if the world had stopped spinning, and you were in a room inside a room with everybody else doing their thing around. It was almost like they were all quiet. The party was going on, and we just had a conversation like I've never had before with a human being. And he, partly because he went to my cellar and he knew which bottle of wine to pick, but we opened a nice bottle of wine from the cellar, and he just sat there, and we had just a conversation like I would never have with my father, with my mother, with just and a work colleague. And he opened up to me, and I opened up to him. It was, to me, that was life changing for me. That was the moment where I went, this life is pretty special, and this chap is pretty special.
Yeah.
And sadly, we lost him, just during COVID. But
yes,
what an amazing people have leave an indent on your life. He left a massive imprint, but one that was filled full of laughter, enjoyment, knowledge, experience. So most people leave a void. This chap left a legacy for me.
Yeah.
And he left me. Basically, when he left, I felt like I had a kick up the arse.
Interesting.
And it was really odd
that moment in your life.
Yeah,
how
it went. Because you have a particular way that you work and the way you do things. And when he died, it was just, you can take it two ways. For me, I felt like I had this massive push up my arse to say,
to deliver,
keep doing that, keep believing in doing what you do, and keep driving. And to keep doing that when you're 53 and you're 54 next year, and to keep driving and I'm working 7 days a week, half of 2027 booked already. You keep driving, you keep pushing forward, but working with an amazing team. And he was the one that really was like,
come on,
didn't
James.
say anything. It was just
gave you the
reaction, to his passing, really. And that's what it was. It was just a massive, massive influence on your life. And that influence can be taken two different ways. And for me, it gave me a much more of I was focused anyway, but certainly it gave me a mission, if that makes sense.
The untold magical alchemy of a Mr. Whippy van. My very best friend in the world, Catherine, had her silver wedding party at Chadderton Football Club, Glamorous, not long ago. And they did the same thing, booked a Mr. Whippy van, parked it outside, and her and husband Greg got in and served everybody ice creams from inside.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was completely magical. Like you say, the trajectory of the party was like, it was fine, it was jolly, we were having a good time, and then the Mr. Whippy turns up and I was like, this is ace!
It's like,
you can have as many sprinkles as you want. It was so good. What a brilliant idea. There's another person on a motorbike in your bag who I think might be a hero. I'm projecting that, but he was one of a hero of mine.
So this brought many memories of my childhood when I knew I was coming to do this, and across memories really between my sister and myself. This is Evel Knievel, and this created so many arguments at home.
And actually, his outfit is a fabric outfit. I thought it was a plastic.
No, this is proper old school. This one, and this used to be the day where my sister used to collect My Little Ponies and pound puppies, and I used to spin this up at the top of the staircase at home, and it used to smash into. Is it a pullback
one?
No, this was a wind up. The red thing that sits. I've got that at home. Yeah. It's this was the legend that's Evel Knievel, and this was every kid's dream, and wanted to be a motorbiker and stuff like that. But yeah, this used to watch him on TV, and then to have this, and used to proper arguments kicked off between. I used to line my sister's My Little Ponies up at the top of the staircase and see how far I could jump
over.
Just this.
Can you get over cotton candy at the end?
She used to go crazy. But yeah, just again, childhood memories, stuff like that. And I just think, now we live in such a disposable world, don't we, really? And now photographs are all on phones and stuff like that. It's not the same, there's not going to be certainly no books like that. Now it's all online and stuff. And I think this has just been replaced by an iPad. It's just such a shame.
But you must have looked after it because it's in decent nick. He's not covered in muck.
You know how much these things are now? These things with your box, I've got the original box and that they're about £1,500 now.
Really?
Yeah. So
but that's your actual one that you had when you were little.
This is my actual one. Yeah, this is my actual one. But I've got the others from it as well. But again, it comes down to the fact that when I was a kid, I used to collect the boxes. I didn't know they were going to be worth what they're worth, but everything would have to be put neatly in the box.
And you tied it all away properly.
Yeah, it was that OCD. I have definitely got OCD, without a shadow of a doubt. I can't sit and, if I know that something's out of place or a light fitting that needs changed, I can't sit here and talk to you. I'd be straight up there, I'd change that and then I'd come back.
Interesting.
I can't let it sit in my head. I've got, it's really odd.
They don't make them like Evel Knievel. There were a few sort of really massive kind of Saturday tea time heroes.
Well, there's Airwolf and stuff like that.
His kind of talent was riding a motorbike through a ring of fire over some cars.
But the thing about it is that others were comical things. There were He-Man. There was all manner of
fake people.
Thunderbirds. There were not.
Evel Knievel was a real man.
Yeah, broken bones and all. And it's just like the whole lot, jumping over canyons and stuff like that. Completely nuts.
Completely nuts.
Completely balmy.
But there's something kind of charming and naive about it. And he was
nutters.
such a huge star. It was huge. There was not a single person in the country that wouldn't know.
Oh, massive.
Complete the following Evel Knievel. They would just know that's what it was.
This was right up there with probably Michael Jackson and all that kind of stuff at the time. This is where it was at, but this is your childhood.
It's very cool. And you've kept, like you said, you've got a sort of man room.
I've got a man. Are you allowed to call it man cave nowadays?
I think you can call it a man cave.
Have you? I think I got in trouble with that in production, call it man cave.
Oh no, really?
But anyway, it's called a man cave.
Okay, sure.
It's a boys' room, and this is in there with motorbikes, and I've got motorbikes. There's pool table. There's all manner of different sort of stuff. And like I said,
Did you keep all your Star Wars figures? Are you that person?
I'm not that person.
Okay.
But I got all my toys. I never really had Star Wars figures. I've got one last one probably in there that means more to me than anything.
Go on then, let's have a look at that.
Which is this one. This is a little toy.
Yes.
This is a little toy red Ferrari. You have to, so they understand the story of this. We had nothing as a kid, and I used to peer through the window at all the showrooms of all car dealerships when I was a young kid. When I was working in London from 12, I was working work experience in London. I used to walk around and peer through the window late at night of all the car showrooms, thinking one day, and it wasn't, well, we'd go back from that. When I was a young kid, we used to go on holiday. We never went on holiday to anywhere fancy. We went to Blackpool or Robin Hood's Bay. We went to the River Thames once, and we got one of those boats.
Oh, like a...
Yeah, my gran was there. And anyway, there was 5 of us, my sister there. And we went down the River Thames and moored up at Windsor. I remember Windsor Castle being up there. But then walking off the boat and over the bridge, there used to be a toy shop on Windsor Bridge.
Okay.
So now I wanted to go back there, and I went back the other month, and it's sadly not there anymore. But there's a toy shop, and I went there with my gran, and my gran had nothing. She had no money. She had nothing. So we were walking into this toy shop, and I just saw this little toy Ferrari, and there was kids wanting bigger toys and stuff like that. I just saw this little toy Ferrari on the bench, and I went, "That's really nice." And my granny bought me it. This is the toy, and it sits by the side of my bed. It's a Ferrari 288 GTO. Sits by the side of my bed, but the real one
is in the garage.
It's downstairs in the garage, and this is the epitome. It sounds daft, but this is the epitome of me. This is what you get if you work your ass off.
Yeah,
you get this.
Even that's in beautiful condition.
Yeah, but it's
seen a bit of action, but it's you know,
it has, but it means a lot. You know,
yeah.
It just means a lot to. It's more than just a little toy red Ferrari, because the amount of work that's involved to go out and get one of these, the real thing, is graft when you have nothing. You know, sadly, like I said, before I did, she passed away just before I did Strictly. So she would have loved Strictly because she loved the show. And so to get me to do that was a massive thing. But she would have loved the journey. She would, and I'd love to have shared it with her, like share it with her daughter, my mum.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, when you have stuff like this, it means, like I said, it's not financially enough, but I know the work that's gone into this. And my mates know the work that's gone into this. And there's very, very few people in my inner circle that know the work that's gone into this. Because everybody sees the Saturday show and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But they're not there at 4:00 in the morning 25 years ago, and I was busting my balls off. They're not there when I'm at Silverstone last year and I did 21-hour shifts for a week. They're not there. But you know what I mean? They don't. People see the glamour bit, but they don't see the graft that goes. You
obviously are still really into it, which is why you still are doing it. It's not like you got to the day where you went in and bought your red Ferrari and you were like, "There you go, James, mic drop."
No, your family would have certainly put you on my. When I did that and bought one, my mother bollocked me. So she said,
"Did she?"
Yeah, she said you should have bought a house. You complete. I think it was an effing idiot. I was called. Because I was living above a Chinese takeaway and an Indian restaurant. My rent was £60 a month, and I went out and bought a red Ferrari.
That is a silly decision.
Well,
I'm kind of with your mum on that.
Yeah, she was, but yeah, I mean, but it's one of those things that you kind of I've got all cine camera footage. I should have bought it actually. It's one of the other things. We put all the cine camera footage on video, and I've got a cine camera footage of me when I think I was about 10, maybe before that 9, probably when that school report is. And I'm going around the table on a skateboard because I couldn't skateboard, so I was holding on to everything. My granddad turned around and said, "What do you want to do when you get older?" It's clear as day. And I turned around and said, "I want be head chef at 25.
Yeah.
My own restaurant at 30 and a Ferrari 35.
Nice.
And yeah.
Were you 35 when you got your Ferrari? Did you get it?
24.
I was going to
say.
Lot.
24 and I got the lot.
You jumped the gun.
But that's graft. You know, it's what I'm saying to you. Nothing gets given to you in this life.
Yeah.
You've got to work for everything, and life's all about risk and reward. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you build yourself back up and get back on the horse and crack on. And I've been kicked down as many times as I've been brought up. So it's you know, people know that you go through all that cancer thing, and you kind of, you know, that puts you in.
Are you well now?
Yeah,
you're good.
Tops, yeah, good. Tops. I don't take injections. I'm not on that bloody diet injection thing, and I'm like, no, I'm just. I feel great myself. That's the thing, and I just feel like, you know, when you're in the restaurant, you're working with the young team. You don't have to, but you want to depart that knowledge that you've learned onto the next generation. And what better way for me to do that than stand in the kitchen side by side with them for the hours that we do and depart that knowledge onto them. And it's just, and keep going more than anything else, because there's always going to be somebody that's worse off than you are.
We've been natural enough, forgotten to offer you a biscuit. Should we have a Tunnocks?
Shall we have one? Well, I was going to take one of these, but they're a bit hard.
They are a bit stale.
Yeah. You can tell me a story about those.
Housekeeping gingerbread ladies. Well, we've brought them because we shot our TV ad for our Christmas issue last week with real singing gingerbread biscuits, and that's them. But we did make them last week, so they're a little bit on the stale side. So
these are epic.
Let's go in. They are, aren't they?
So who else chose these then?
Charlene Spiteri went for a Tunnocks caramel.
You see, these are epic. I've just come back from the Orkney Food and Drink Festival.
Oh, nice.
Orkney I absolutely love. And they give you these on Loganair. Sorry. But
that's right. Do you know what? We were talking to Ashley Jensen on the podcast, and she said the same thing, because she films in Shetland, and she's like, I get one of these on the plane. You don't get any food coming down the aisle. You get this, which is enough. It is nice though, isn't it? Would you ever do the dark chocolate ones?
No.
No.
It's like digestive biscuits. It's got to be milk. Dark chocolate is just, you venture into the world of air fryers and all that kind of stuff when you...
Are you a hard no on an air fryer?
It's left me scarred for life.
You've had to go on one and
No,
it was
I
a
won't
disaster.
touch them. I won't touch them.
Oh.
I'll blow them up. Absolute
Run
physically
them
waste
over
of
and
time. I don't understand why people have air fryers. I just think if you go around somebody's house and they're cooking you dinner on an air fryer, you need new friends.
I asked Michelle...
You have to question yourself as a human being to get new friends.
I asked at Good Housekeeping Live last year, I asked Michelle Rue Jr.
Yeah.
I said, do you have an air fryer? And he looked at me and he said, because he's obviously a lovely, very charming and gracious man. And he did a sort of gentle smile and he said, do I look like the kind of person with an air fryer? I said, to be fair, no.
But he's just
there you
asked the
go.
question.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I feel like my way to give something back to humanity is probably 10 years' time, retire, work on a shopping channel, selling deep fat fryers and taking your air fryers past
And
exchange.
tell me why you're so... I don't have one. I sort of feel a bit like you. I think I've decided to be snobbish about them.
It's not snobbish.
But what is it about them from a chef perspective?
Well,
what is it? It's little oven, isn't it?
No, it's not a little oven. If you break it down what it is, it's, like you had... Your granny used to cook on an electric plate, this circular thing.
Yes.
It's basically that with a fan on it.
Okay. So they're sort of joyless as well.
I don't understand what it is. I don't understand. I haven't tasted a single thing that tastes nice out of it.
Okay.
It takes twice as long as conventional cooking. Don't tell me that it doesn't, because it does. It's a waste. It's just a waste of time. It's just...
But a deep fat fryer you were down with.
Well, the deep fat fryer is what... It
doing
imparts moisture into food. It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's what they are. But you deep fry fish and chips. You don't air fry fish and chips. You can't do chips in an air fryer. I'm sorry, but you can't.
That's the definitive answer, ladies and gentlemen. You can't do chips in an air fryer.
You need a deep fat fryer.
And
you can't. And it's like I said, if you think you can, you need to get new friends. I'm sorry, but it's just not. No.
Is there anything left in your bag, or have we done them all now?
We've done one thing.
Okay, one more to go.
More than 6 items. Yes. We're talking about my Gran. This is the plate that my granny used to serve bacon sandwiches and biscuits on.
Pretty little plate.
This was my granny, but she used to have a doily on it. And we used to have bacon sandwiches
Hang on, a doily and then a bacon sandwich.
My granny would have a doily. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's just like...
Special times.
Oh, yeah. It's my granny didn't have an out, but she had money for a doily and making it look nice. She had a little paper napkin. And you sit and eat. You have a bottle of... you'd have a glass of barley water.
Oh, yeah.
And if you were really... You pretend you will, and then she'd give you a bit of Lucasade, which is better.
Yeah.
So you'd have that. And Robinson's barley water, you'd have that with your bacon sandwiches. And you'd be watching TV. Well, I remember my granny got the newfangled TV. Radio Rentals TV she had for quite a while. Couldn't bloody see it. It was so out of date. And then she got one with a lead. Before remote controls, you had to get a lead. Before that, you had to get up and turn it over.
Yes.
And you only had 3 channels then. So you push one of the 3 buttons on the top and you used to have to wait and it used to flicker and come back on again. But they got the ones, she had the big telephone with the big numbers on it, but the TV with the lead, and you used to sit there and watch like Airwolf and all these sort of programs, bits and pieces, while sat and having your bacon sandwich on there.
And I'd had totally forgotten about the health-giving properties of Robinson's barley water, which was very widely well understood.
That's epic.
Glass of that, sorted.
Half of that, and that was it. And if you were ill, you got. I remember. Well, my mum used to do it. If you were ill, my mum used to say, "I'm going to cook for you. I'm going to bake for you." What she used to do is get a sponge flan from the supermarket. You know, one of those.
Ready-made. Yeah,
like
brilliant.
16p ones.
Yeah.
Cover it over with ambrosia custard.
Yeah.
And then take tin satsumas,
peaches.
Satsuma peaches, put them on the top. That's what you're having.
There you go. That's pudding.
Or bananas and custard.
Yeah, nice.
Or alternatively, what I had, which people thought I was stupid until they've tried it. The best sandwich ever.
Okay.
If you take white sliced bread, it's got to be thin white sliced bread, butter it.
Yeah.
Then you take a banana, mash it up, put it on the bread. And then a Cadbury's flake.
Okay.
Put the bread on the top, wrap it in cling film, leave it in your satchel. Go
do a day's work.
Cycling around London or whatever. Come back, allow it to sweat a little bit, then eat it. Oh my God. It's a game changer, an absolute game changer.
What would you call that dish, would you say?
Horrific to think about, but it changed. It was.
I can't imagine it being visually very appealing.
Well, it's not visually thing, particularly when you've had it your Spider-Man.
Sweating in your Spider-Man bag.
A little bag for the rest of the day. But you used to do swapsies on the bus. You used to get on the bus.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody wanted to swap with me because of that, but it was amazing.
But that was what you had.
I used to have bread and lard sandwiches as well, which was the jelly from the lard from my granny's larder. So you used to have the jelly on.
I bet that was nice,
It's
though.
epic, so that kind of stuff. But
yeah. It's been an absolute joy. Can you just tell me, what is the name of this here book that's out?
Well, it's the Saturday Show cookbook. It's as simple as that. I suppose I've been on Saturday mornings for 20 years.
God.
ITV for nearly 10. And the publishers approached me and said, look, what do you fancy doing? We've done books on themes and we've done books on ingredients and stuff like that. And I said, look, it's quite a momentous year 20 years of TV for one show is quite a big deal. So I said, well, we've got 6,500 recipes in the file. Why don't we do a Saturday Show cookbooks and let's do that? And because it means a lot for the viewers, a lot for the readers, but it also means a tremendous lot for the people who come on. So for the chefs that come on the show and the people who take part in it, the people who make it, it means so much to them because half the team that make the show are still making it 20 years later. This is accumulation
and it's on Christmas Day as well.
Yeah, this is it's out and it's like I said, it's hand selection of recipes. It means so much to me as a person to be put this together, but it also the people that make the show, but also the chefs that are part of it. So the chefs have done wonderful little comments of what the show means to them as well, which mean a lot to us and the rest of the team who make it.
Christmas present par excellence.
That's what it is.
Faultless.
And don't forget your biscuits.
Thank you so much, James Martin. This has been your Biscuit Tin. Cheers.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Maybe it's a sofa that gives you that heavenly sinking in feeling. Maybe it's an extendable dining table for everyone to crowd around and catch up. Or maybe it's a sideboard to hide all of that clutter that's been driving you crazy. Whatever your home has been missing, you can find it at DFS. With thousands of stylish pieces to discover, find your thing today in stores or at dfs.co.uk.